Liz Crede is an organisation development consultant. She believes that the results of any organisation can be improved by building the quality of the relationships within it, whether they're person to person, team to team, department to department, or organisation to organisation. Liz, how should each side prepare for this negotiation?
Well, that's a really great question, because it's the preparation that is key. To any good negotiation, it's spending time really preparing two things. Not only your own position, which obviously is really important, but as important is the position of the other party, trying to understand what will be important to them, what you think they will want from the negotiation. So looking at both sides is really important in the preparation. And within that, looking for three positions. And by position, I mean, what would be the ideal outcome for you? What would be your best possible solution to this deal? And getting clear on that, what that would look like. Then having a middle position. Well, what would be good, but a bit less than your ideal, but would be good enough? Having that mid position. And then the final position would be what's known as a BATNA. So that stands for the best alternative to a negotiated agreement. It's your bottom line, and one that you don't want to go below, otherwise it won't be a good deal for yourself. And the advantage of having prepared these three positions is that it gives you as a negotiator room for manoeuvre, room for flexibility, and that's what you need to be able to bring into the negotiation. Otherwise it can feel very stuck and fixed and no room for movement, which is not a negotiation.
What do all good negotiators have in common?
Well, in my experience, a couple of things come to mind. The first is good negotiators focus on the real needs of the other party rather than what their stated position might be. So we talked about positions in the last answer, and it's about really understanding what's driving them to that position rather than the position itself. So, for example, with the advertising, Kensington United don't want to upset the fans through the advertising, and that's why they want to keep it to a minimum. So if you look at not upsetting the fans as the key issue, then there might be very many different ways that the advertising can be done that Universal want, but they can have a lot of advertising, but in ways that don't upset the fans. So both needs can be met when you really understand the fundamental needs of both parties. The other thing is really being a good listener. So in the negotiation itself, really paying attention to what the other party is saying and listening with an attitude of win-win. How can we get what we want, but also how can we help the other party get what they want? And a further point is that good negotiators focus on coinage. Now, what I mean by that is, what do I have to give you if I'm negotiating with you that is easy for me to give or very cheap for me to give, but would be of very high value to you? You'd appreciate it a lot. For example, here in the UK, we have an honours system. We offer titles to people. So very easy to give, very low value. It doesn't cost us anything to recognise somebody as a Sir, for example, but has a very high value to the person who's receiving it. So thinking about what coinage is on offer here would be a great thing to do.
Which areas of the sponsorship deal do you think can benefit both sides?
Yeah, it's good to focus on that. It's easy, isn't it, when you see two sides of a negotiation that apparently are very different and miles apart, and you forget how much common ground there is between the needs of both parties. And it's clear from this situation that that is the case. The opportunity for business development that Universal Communications will bring Kensington United, and the opportunity for broader exposure that the football club will bring the communications company is very overlap a lot. There's a lot of synergy there. And particularly, I think, in the areas of advertising, they'll reach agreement. In the areas of the overall money, the actual total is not that far apart. They just want it structured differently. So lots of opportunity for creative solutions there. And also with the new business ventures. Universal Communications just want approval of Kensington's United's activities. They're not saying no to the baseball, for example, in the US. So I think a lot of areas there for good, flexible exploration of options, and they'll come up with a good deal.